How's everybody doing? It's the Dixon White. I'm coming back at you. Last video I made went viral, so I'm real happy about that. I'm trying to get the word out there to white America, but it seems like white America don't really like to listen to me. As a matter of fact, they like to hate on me, but that's okay. I expect it. White America's been hating the truth racially for 400 years. But anyhow, I'm here today to say thank you to everybody that supported me, and especially thank you to the black community. I have never in all my life been so moved, touched, and inspired by the letters, the over 100 messages people have sent me, just explaining to me what it means to just see a good old country boy like me speak the truth finally. It's like black America's been deprived of something forever. Is that they're in deprivation of truth. That, you know, you just have white America just doing one thing, spewing out lies about race, in denial, you know, dismissing everything that black people have been saying for centuries. So, you know, it's not a post-racial America. We know that. This is a white supremacist nation. It was built for white people, this country. It wasn't built for brown, black, or any person of color. It was built for white people. And we've reaped those benefits. That's our privilege here, having white skin. And they don't have those privileges. We get advantages when we go to the doctor, through healthcare, in the justice system, in our court system, and with the police officers, with law enforcement, with renting a house, buying a house, simply driving through rural America, walking down the street, employment, wages, everything. And there's all kinds of data out there to back up what I'm saying. White America, look it up. But I'm here today to say thank you. And to be honest with you, I had grown men, black men, and women write me, tell me that when they watched my last video about white fear and greed, that they had tears in their eyes, because they'd never heard a white person speak like that before. And you know, I'm not doing anything any different than anything anybody else should be doing that's white. I'm just telling the truth, you know, and that's it. I'm not a white savior. One person called me a redneck MLK, and that's a lie. I reject those notions of anything like that. I'm just simply a person speaking the truth about race, the same way that every white American in this whole damn country needs to do. You know, it's time we came to reality racially, and that's all I'm trying to do here, is just speak the truth. So, here in my truck today again. I'm here at Home Depot. I'll stop real quick and talk to y'all. I want to tell black community thank you. I want to tell you that when I read your letters, I cried with you, and that's from my heart. And I want to tell you that my whole goal here is not to stereotype my own race, not to stereotype white people as bigots and racist, but my whole goal here is to solve the problem of white supremacy in America, to get white people to take some responsibility. So, what I've done is I have a call to action I want to put out there for everybody in this country. I don't give a damn who you are, if you're a doctor, lawyer, if you're a working man, blue collar, white collar, you're a prostitute in the street, crackhead, whatever you're doing right now, just stop. If you're eating, if you're having sex, if you're at your dinner table, whatever you're doing, just stop watching TV, turn off more Povich or whatever y'all doing, and I want you to pick your smartphones up. I don't want you to put no makeup on, don't want you to cut your hair, just do it all natural, just keep it simple. Point that phone at your face. Get pointed at your face, y'all. And I want you to speak the truth about race in America. And I want you to speak about what it's like to be a person of color in America. Think about that for a second. What does it mean to be a person of color in America racially? How are we benefited as white people? Do we experience privilege? Let's talk about it. And I want you to talk about race in America without a but in it. There are no buts. There is no defense. It's just pure unadulterated truth about the race in America. Can you do that, white America? Come on now. Come on, let's get some positive energy out here. Let's find some truth, racially. Denial ain't helping nothing. It may not help you live with your life, and it might be comfortable, but that comfort that you're experiencing is destroying our country. That turn your deaf ear, turn a blind eye, and ignore it, dismiss it. All that shit ain't helping nothing. What are you accomplishing? You're fucking up our great country. I'm not saying all white people are racist, but I'm saying there's too many of us that are. And there's too many of us that don't care. The complacency, the inaction, And I know I'm repeating myself from yesterday, but it's all those things. The silence when you witness racism. Stand the fuck up. Do something. Speak up, act up, get in the fucking street. Run around naked hollering, white America's racist, and I know it. No, not really. But, well, all right, maybe. If you're hot, not really. But anyhow, point your cameras at your face and just speak the truth without a butt in it about race in America. This is not about defending white America, this video. This video is to talk about the truth, about what people of color experience in this nation of ours on a daily basis, a thing that we don't experience, called racism and white supremacy. We don't live under brown or black supremacy, America. We live under white supremacy. Get it clear, get it straight. So please post your videos all over YouTube, put them on Facebook, put them everywhere. We want to see them. We want to promote truth. We want to spread truth like wildfire in this great nation of ours. Or maybe it ain't so great, but it's the best turd in the pot. All right. Put your videos up, America, please. Let's do this. Let's make a movement. Let's make a change for equality. Let's make a change for justice. Let's fight for it. It's worth it. Let's do it for our brothers and sisters. Let's do it for everybody. Let's do it for ourselves. This shit, this racist shit, when you buy into it, if it's elitism, sexism, racism, whatever it is, it's toxic. It'll fuck your shit up, man. It's dysfunctional. It'll fuck your brains up, fuck your family up. You can't have relationships when you're trying to live out a lie of supremacy. If it's elitism, sexism, racism, ableism, whatever kind of ism you got, exceptionalism, whatever the hell you got, look it up if you don't know. Whatever you're dealing with in your family and in yourself, shed it, get rid of it. Find the truth. Nobody's superior. When you try to live out a lie, what happens? Everything breaks down because nobody's good enough. You're not good enough. Your family's not good enough. So that's all I'm going to say today. I love y'all. And I'm not saying all white people are racist, damn it. That's a disclaimer for all the damn deflector projectors out there that got to say, oh, he's stereotyping white people. Oh, he's saying all white people are racist. Oh, the Dixie White is racist. Yeah, my name's Dixie White. What you going to do about it? I'm not fucking racist. I'm fucking anti-racist. Look it up. White America has become anti-racist. And if we don't become anti-racist, there ain't no hope for us. Get your cameras out and make your videos. Love y'all. Thank you. Bye.
Unification.
I've used the N-word. Not in public. I've used it in private. And it's not right.
It's time to end this racism. We started it. We can finish it.
White people, it's time to take a stand.
Yeah, I'm redneck. I always have been, but as rednecks reformed. Many years I was a racist. I didn't like blacks. I used to call me N-word and whatnot. Oh, I don't see color. By God, you better see color. If you don't see color, then how the gonna help it? How you gonna fix it?
I just wanted to say your videos are amazing. They're so blunt, truthful, and I never thought that I would hear a white man say some of the things that you said, or that other people on your page of the videos that you shared from your challenge, hear the things that they said. For people to actually admit it, come out of the denial, and take off the blanket that's hiding what really is going on today here in America. Being a 20-year-old black female, I've experienced so much racism in my life. It's to the point where I have a boyfriend. He's 23-year-old black man. Whenever he gets pulled over by a cop or just encounters a cop in general, he'll call me or FaceTime me just to be on the phone with somebody, or just to, to be talking to somebody while he's in a situation with a cop, because he's scared for his life. It's not a game. It's literally life and death for us. Whereas though white people can just talk about it, and they just they can see it and, you know, talk about it or not talk about it, whereas though we're living it every day. He will literally call me, and I'm scared for his life. It's crazy. And I mean, I'm so in love with my boyfriend, but before him, like, it's weird. I always wanted to date a white man, and you know, the sad thing about it is that I knew that I would never date a white man, not because of me, but because, number one, a white man would never approach a black woman, in my opinion. And also, my biggest fear about dating a white person was not the white person, the white man that I would be dating. It was, if I dated a white man, his family would not accept me. His family would hate me. His family would not like me because I'm black. And it would be a lifetime of issues. And it's crazy. It's sad that I would actually think like that or have a mentality like that. But so many people I know who have interracial relationships deal with racism. I mean, racism goes to so many different levels, from police brutality to relationships to politics to money to jobs to communities. It's sad, but it's real. And the fact that if a black person talks about it or says something about it, here they go again. They always want to pull out the race card. They always want to talk about racism. Why don't they just leave it alone? We're all equal. It's 2015. We have a black president. Racism is over. You're not slaves anymore. And that's not the case. A white man can talk about how proud he is to be an American, or a white man can talk about problems and he's a patriot, he's a liberal, he's an American citizen, a proud American citizen. But as soon as a black person talks about real issues, it's, we're still living in the past, we're playing the victim role, we're pulling the race card. It's crazy. I work at a place called Steinmart, and it's kind of expensive. So I mean, I would say it's like, our customers are like, I'm a cashier, I'm a full-time nursing student, and I'm not on welfare. I don't get food stamps. I have to work for every dollar I have. So where I work, a lot of bougie people. I would say we have like 90% white customers, and I'm one of the black cashiers, but there are a lot of white cashiers, and we have, you know, some Spanish cashiers and some mixed cashiers. But it's crazy, like the older white people, or even some younger white people, they won't look me in my eye. They'll walk in the door, I can say, hello, welcome to, you know, and they'll hear me loud and clear, and they won't acknowledge that I just spoke to them. It's like it kills them to say "I" back to a black girl, but as soon as my white coworker over here says hello, oh hi, how are you doing today? Or they'll rather wait in line to be rung up by a white person rather than get in my line. Or, don't let me you know, take the money, and instead of placing it in my hand like a human being, I'm going to throw it on the counter like you're a dog, because I don't want to touch your black hand, like you're going to melt if I touch my hand. Or, it's just, I don't know. And it's like, if I say that, then it's all in your head. You're just assuming that they're racist, but it's real. It's real, and it happens every single day. I had a customer, white woman, and her husband, and they were talking to me, and she was really nice. She was talking to me, and the sad part is I don't even think that mentally she thought that she was being racist. It's just how her mindset was. She was telling me how she had about $15,000 worth of jewelry stolen out of her house. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And she was like, yeah, so now I only buy costume jewelry. I don't spend all that money on jewelry anymore. So I'm like, I hope they find the people that did it. And, you know, she was telling me that they still have no leads or anything. And she was like, and then this would kill me. She says, So, tonight when you go in your little neighborhood, if you see any of your little friends walking around with jewelry that doesn't belong to them, make sure you call the police. What little neighborhood and what friends? You're assuming that I live in the hood with black thugs who robbed your house and stole your jewelry. It's just, she didn't even realize that what she said was wrong or that it offended me. I don't know, it's just crazy. It's like people are just born, and not even born, you're conditioned to think racist. I wasn't taught to be a racist. I wasn't taught to hate white people. All black people, we weren't taught that the white man is the enemy. White people hate you, so we live it. So we have the mindset that we have from experiences. Whereas though from some of the videos that I'm watching, white people were literally taught the black person is the enemy and they're evil. And one of the things that I always wanted to do, I always just wanted to sit down with the racist white person and say, okay, I'm black, you're white, you don't know me at all. Why don't you like me because I'm black? I always just wanted to know what is it about being black that's so bad that white people hate us? And it baffles me and it confuses me and it saddens me. And I know it's not all white people. I have white managers at my job who I love. My church fellowships, I go to a predominantly black church. We fellowship with an all-white church, and it's crazy. I love them. I actually have white people married into my family. So, and of course, I'm a full-time nursing student, so I have white professors who I love. I have white friends who I love. I love all people. But it's just sad because racism is very real. And a lot of the white people that I've come in contact with are very in denial about racism. As soon as you speak up and say, that was racism, here you go again. Why does everything have to be about race? Everything doesn't have to be about race, but a lot of times the underlying reason for why somebody said something or why somebody did something subconsciously was because of racism. It's not me just thinking in a racist mindset. It's because of race. So I just wanted to give a little bit. That's not even half. That's not even a quarter of racist experiences that I've been through. But I just wanted to give a small, just my viewpoint on racism and my experiences, and keep doing what you're doing. Keep pointing out these challenges. Keep spreading the word. It's awesome. And hopefully something will actually come from this and people can get a better understanding of each other and start to love one another and be united for real, not fake. But that's all.
Hey everybody, Dixon back. I just wanted to say a little bit about Kaepernick, the NFL player who refused to stand and salute during the national anthem. What a great role model he is for other celebrities and other famous people and other people in positions of power to take a stand for justice, racial justice. How beautiful is that, and how important is that? If we could get more people in positions of power and celebrity like him and influence to just simply take a stand. What he did was he risked his position in the NFL, and he deserves all the positive attention he's gotten, and to all his haters and all the typical white apologists and white nationalists that are still doing their 500-year traditional, racist, propaganda on covert, overt bullshit against what he did. Number one, the national anthem, if you sing the whole damn thing, it talks about hunting and killing slaves. So that's just one thing. Number two, obviously, if you have any consciousness at all, and if you care anything about reality, or morality for that matter, you would be able to recognize that our country has systematically worked against people of color for over 500 years. Not just our country, but Europeans in general. the white community in general has worked against, starting with the indigenous people over 500 years ago, and then the enslavement of African people, colonialization, imperialization, and Black Wall Street, oh my God, so many things, Punch Bowl, Rosewood, Philadelphia, I think it was even in the 70s. There's been so many things, lynchings and Jim Crow, and so many things that we've done against people of color. And today, the racial disparities in our criminal justice system, and healthcare, and finance, and in every institution, in employment, economically, so many things that we've done to people of color as a country, as a white community. So yeah, you should understand why people of color, and why all of us should not want to participate in that anthem. You know, to me, to be a true patriot is to stand for your country because you want it to be better. That's exactly what he did. But more importantly, he brought attention to racial injustice, and he made people think. And until we can get our culture to change, our system cannot change. Institutional racism cannot change until culture changes. And he's taken a step. And just imagine if more celebrities, people of influence, could take a stand the way he did, how it would affect cultural change. Because until we can eliminate the propaganda and the culture of white supremacy that we live in, I don't see how we can affect the systemic change that needs to happen. So I just want to encourage more people to do what he's doing. You don't have to be famous to take a stand. We all should take a stand, especially white folks, against racial injustice and any form of injustice, socially, racially, that you see. As a species, how can we progress if we don't? Put away apathy, find empathy, take a stand for justice. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Let's recognize that in every American institution, education, financial, healthcare, justice, for God's sake, it's injustice, in the police departments and our police officers, many of them. And when I talk, I'm not talking about all. I ain't saying all white people are bad. I'm saying we've got an evil called white supremacy in this damn culture. Stop being defensive. Get off your fucking ass and do something about it. Speak up. Don't ever listen. Don't ever ignore racism. If you hear something racist, fucking stand up as a white American. Take some fucking responsibility. It's the inaction that has always destroyed other peoples and other nations. It's the inaction. It's the indifference. It's that damn, oh well, it'll take care of itself attitude. Oh, I don't see color. By God, you better fucking see color. You don't see color, then how the fuck you gonna help it? How you gonna fix it? Our system sees color. Our culture sees color. We're indoctrinated to see color. Don't tell me you can't fucking see color. Motherfucker, see color. See the black experience. See the brown experience. See what we did to Native Americans. See what colonization did. Look at what the fucking Crusades did. Get educated. Open a fucking book. Read. Watch a fucking video. Watch Roots again. Watch Malcolm X. Do something. Think outside the fucking white box. Black people live it every fucking day. Brown people live it every fucking day. Think beyond your own fucking experience. Think beyond your own self. Imagine the privileges that you have just because of your fucking skin. I ain't saying you ain't suffered, we all suffer. Stop being defensive. What I'm saying is that we get certain privileges. We're not harassed by the police. Okay? We're not denied a house loan or denied to live in a neighborhood. We're not uncomfortable living in rural America. I'm not uncomfortable living in rural America, but I tell you what, a lot of black people don't even want to fucking drive through where I live. What? Racist. We're fucking racist. So I'm not saying white people are bad. Stop being defensive. I'm saying take some fucking responsibility. All people are equal. God made us that way. Well, let's knock this fucking supremacy out of our fucking country. So I'm just saying, white America, wake up. Look in the fucking racial mirror and look at what we have done. Look at how we benefit. And let's do something about it. Let's speak up. Let's vote. Let's create legislation and policies to fight against this shit. Let's make things fair and equal. Let's take some responsibility and never, ever, ever ignore any form of racism that you see or experience or witness. Always speak up and act up. Please. Thank you.
Hello world. Please excuse me, I'm just getting off of work and getting the kids off to school. But I couldn't wait to get off work to talk about the Dixon White video that I seen last night. It was moving, it was tremendous. As far as him, shining a light on a subject that African Americans have talked about for so long, to hear from the other side of the fence is like, even though we know that white people know, it's still amazing to hear someone actually say, yeah, we know and we need to stand up for it. And we need to talk about it and we need to take some responsibility for it. I really appreciate that. So firstly, I want to thank him for that video. He also asked the people to respond and kind of take responsibility and kind of talk about white supremacy and how it is to have white privilege and all of that good stuff. So I also want to thank those people who have been responding. I've been watching so many videos and being so touched by people and what they've been through and how racism is sickening, which I agree. And, you know, that's really moving to hear. I, on the other hand, I can't make a video about white privilege. I've never been privileged as white. However, I can make a video on what it's like to be a black woman and to be underprivileged, undesired, unfavored. I can make a video about that. So, firstly, I want to start off by saying I apologize if I offend anyone. When I say black people, I do not mean all black people. When I say white people, I do not mean all white people. I want to get that straight. Secondly, I'm going to speak from my experience. This is my experience. It might not be the same as yours, but this is my life. This is what I deal with. I am from Detroit, Michigan. For those of you who've heard of it, you know we went through bankruptcy, greedy politicians we've been stolen from. Basically, poverty. We were already poverty stricken, but now it's like crazy. Abandoned houses, abandoned. I want to try to show you my neighborhood. This is where I live. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but these are abandoned houses. I don't know what you can see. I am so sorry for my lack of technology, but those are abandoned houses, like on the same block as my house. This is everywhere in the heart of the city. We have abandoned houses and everything that surrounds us. And on the news, it's nothing out of the ordinary if you'd hear a woman got raped in this house, or they found dead bodies in these houses. These houses are getting burned up, vandalized constantly, continuously, and it's a scary thing. Now, I am your typical stereotype. I am a black woman. I am 29. I am not married. I have 3 kids that I raise solely on my own, which is a job in itself. And for those of you who judge that, imagine living it. You pass judgment, but living it is every day is a struggle. But anywho, I'm worried about my kids. Now, please excuse me if I get a little emotional because I tend to do that sometimes when I talk about things that are very dear to my heart. My kids are one of the most dearest things to my heart. So it's difficult to live in a place like this where, you know, you don't want your kids to walk down the street, walk past these abandoned houses. It could be crackheads, it could be drug dealers, it could be a body, it could be anything going on. So, and I'm not going to say that's white people's fault because that is our fault. Because we are crammed in these communities and we are poor. And this is what we do to one another when we are poor and when our backs are against the wall. We attack one another, which shouldn't be the case. But that's all a direct problem or a direct product of an uphill problem. It's like we are reacting in such a negative way to things that's going on because we can't get out of this system. We are like crabs in the barrel. Black people are like crabs in the barrel. They don't want to see each other have anything. I work my behind off for everything that I own. For my car, my house, everything I pay for. So when someone comes and takes that from me, it breaks my heart. It really does. But this how we live, especially here in Detroit. This is how we live. So anyway, so back to racism, underprivilege. I was born here. I come from a line of my mom. She was poor. We had the necessities in life, food and a roof, but she was poor. We were poor. And when I was little, she always said, "Don't bring home no white man. Don't bring home no white man." And I never asked her why, because I kind of figured that maybe it was she was reflecting the hate that she felt like white people hated her, so she needed to reflect that hate back to them. I'm guessing. I'm assuming. I never really asked though, so whatever. But she kind of frowned upon it. But us living majority black area, it's not likely I'm going to find a white man anyway. And if he is white, he's going to be like me white. He's going to be what we call wiggers. You know, white people that act black. But that's neither here nor there. My kids. Oh, how I love my kids. I have an 11-year-old son, 2 daughters, ages 7 and 4. And my daughters are very impressionable. You know, I want to raise them to be women and princesses and beautiful things. And my oldest daughter, she is infatuated with music. She loves music. She loves videos. She loves Beyonce. She loves things like that. But the thing that bothers me about the media is the subliminal self-hate. They make us hate the way we look, our skin, hate our hair. They give us an image of beauty that's unrealistic. You know, that's only one type of person. There's several different types of people. And don't get me wrong, I believe everybody is beautiful. Everybody's beautiful. Inside, outside, no matter your shape, your size, your color, we're all beautiful. But my daughter, she has this thing where I comb her hair. She said, Mom, why don't my hair look like hers? Why is my ponytail not long like hers? Why is my hair not straight like hers? Why, you know, and I tell her all the time, I said, baby, you're beautiful. You are beautiful. You don't have to look like her to be beautiful. But she is forcing her face so much that she feels like that's beauty. And I don't want her to feel like that. I want her to feel like she's beautiful. So I'm disappointed in the media. I'm disappointed in the racial blurred lines that everybody in the commercial is white except for one black girl who's not really black. She's like really light tone with curly hair and hazel eyes. That's not what we look like. This is what we look like. This is what we look like. We don't look like a mixed breed. We don't look like a black and a white or a black and Hispanic. Not saying anything is wrong with that, but that's not what we look like. You feel like if you interject somebody who looks similar to us, that's okay? That's not okay. We don't look that way. We look like us. Commercials, music videos, TV shows, everybody has that one token black person. Over the course of all of these decades has passed, since slavery and since we complain about everything, that's what we get. We get some kind of that's kind of black thrown in there to represent us, to say something that we might say. That doesn't pacify us. It makes me angry. I'm supposed to say, well, at least there's somebody black in the group now. At least it's not friends. At least we see somebody black. No, it doesn't. And it makes my daughter feel a certain way. Because she watches this all the time. She watches these videos and she watches commercials and TV and everything where she is the minority. But where we are raised, she is the majority. So she doesn't understand. My son, he's the oldest. He has this thing where he's scared of the police. I don't know where it came from. I don't tell my son to be afraid of the police. But with everything that's going on in the media, with these police killing all these black people that's unarmed and everything that's being publicized and thrown out there in the media frenzy, all that, he's terrified of the police. These people were put on these streets to protect and serve us. Now, my son, every time he sees a police officer, he's terrified in the car. He's like, oh, Mom, wait, I got to sit back, wait. Oh, are they going to stop us? Please, I don't want to go to jail. Where do you get that from? You think you're going to jail when you see the police? It saddens my heart. It really does. Even school systems here. Like Dixon said, white privilege from school systems. I'm going to tell you about the underprivilege of living in a majority black city. They closed down over 100 of our children's schools. Over 100 of them are sitting here, boarded up, blocked up, tore down because they closed them down and they decided to cram all kindergarten through 8th grade students in one building. So every school now, there is no elementary. There is a kindergarten through 8th, firstly. I'm pulling up to a school right now. I really want to show you guys what schools look like, what happened to our schools that they tear down. This is a school that they tore down. That they closed down, excuse me. That is a school that they decided was better closed than open because all of our lovely politicians stole all our money. And now we can't even afford to keep schools open for these kids. So this is an example. Now, this is my neighborhood too. This is what my kids walk past. Abandoned buildings like this, tore up, tore down, everything. So my kids in school don't get extracurricular activities to keep them busy. They barely get sports. They don't get music. They don't get art. Let alone everything else that other schools, white privileged schools, horseback riding, archery, all these beautiful things that they get to experience. My child can't even play sports. That keeps the circle of unsuccess rolling. The fact that we can't even get a decent education for our children because this is where I stay. It tears me up on the inside. It tears me up. I am an educated woman. I went to school. It took me 10 years in college because I had 3 babies. But I went to college. I got my bachelor's because they said I should. Because they said that if I get an education, then I can have a better chance of getting a better job to get out the hood. But guess what? I'm still in the hood. I got a bachelor's. I don't know what else to do. I'm in my wit's end. It's difficult enough to raise 3 kids on your own. I am striving, and in my lifetime, I would love to be able to see my kids live in a house with an upstairs and a downstairs with enough room for them to have their own room and have a decent education. That's all that I want for my kids. That is my goal in life. It's like being underprivileged, being in the skin, being the sex. So many odds stacked. So many odds. And there's so many things that people take for granted. So many things. The fact that you can live in a house and have your own room, your own space. The fact that you can open your refrigerator and have food to eat. That is something that we fight so hard for on a daily basis. We fight so hard for that. I fight so hard for my kids to have that. Just that. In my lifetime, I would love for my kids to have that. It's like to the point where I don't even know what to do anymore. I went to school like they said I should. I got an education. I work hard every day. I don't sleep. I work midnights. I come home, gotta get the kids off from school, gotta clean up the house, gotta cook dinner, gotta prepare for class. I got so much to do, I don't get sleep. And guess what? I'm still here. I'm 30 years old. I'm still here, still unsatisfied, still unhappy. I don't know this privilege that people speak of. All I know about is being unfavored. We don't get respect as a woman, as a black woman. Our own men don't respect us. Our own black men don't respect us enough to help us, to marry us, to do anything like that. Because media, because we are black, as black people need to do better because we are impressionable. Thinking that the things these rappers and the stuff that you see on these movies and on TV is reality. So you treat women like you hear. They say, dog this bee, you think you gonna dog her. That's not true. It's so far from the truth that you should treat us like that. But we get treated that way. They want to play us. They want to make us seem like we ain't nothing. We are everything. I can tell you right now, I am a black woman. I am everything. I hold all this together. I get weak. I get tired. I get fed up. But I hold all this together. And you know, what another thing that really chaps my behind is when I have these conversations via social media. I express myself. We express ourselves. We're angry. Black people are angry because of everything that has happened, and we are still getting, it's like we're getting mocked. Like, ha, this happened, so what, and it doesn't matter. You know, and when we express ourselves, white people just be like, okay, well, you can do the same things I can. So why don't you just get off your behind and do the same things I can? No one, let me say this loud and clear. No one works as hard as I work. No one. I work all the time, helping people, doing things at home, doing things at work. I have several different jobs I have to do. Nobody works as hard as me. But guess what? I can't get anywhere. You know why? Do you know why? The only outlet we have is what we call it in Detroit, traveling across 8 Mile to the suburbs. Travel across 8 Mile, spend our money there. Go sit somewhere where we don't want to see our own kind. We don't want to see black people acting ignorant. We go across 8 Mile to be with the white people who don't want us in their establishment, but they want their green money. So we spend that green money, we fit in for that moment, but then guess what? We got to travel across 8 Mile again and go back home to the hood. I'm tired of spending my money somewhere where I'm not welcome. It's like, why can't I have a house out there? Why can't I provide my children with that type of education? Why must they be subject to this nonsense when I work so hard? I work so hard. I work so hard. All that I want in this lifetime is for my children to be able to have a good education, a great shot at college, and a great shot at a better life than this. We weren't meant for this. And for those of you who are white privileged, do not take it for granted. Because that food that you have in your refrigerator, that balcony that you got outside your window, the basement that you have, is something that I dream about. It's something that I may never have. As hard as I work, as tired as I am, I may never have it. I may just have to settle for a good hood living, a good hood environment for my children. I really want so much more for them. I don't know how to attain it. So, again, thank you, Dixon White, for this video. It really inspired me. And even if nobody watches this, it feels good to let it off my chest. To let you know, all black people are not the same. All black people do not use twerk videos to gain stardom. We don't use fight videos to gain stardom. It is a lot of hard-working black people out here that we give up because we can't get anywhere. I'm not on welfare. I don't receive food stamps. I don't receive any of that. Everything that I have, I work for, and it is hard when you can't get anywhere and when you are by yourself. It is hard. Thank y'all for listening.
Hey everybody, Dixon back here, just thinking about Donald Trump, unfortunately, and thinking about why he's been resonating with so many white folks all over America, and why there's millions and millions of Trump signs in white folks' yards all over America. And the obvious reason is white America loves white supremacy. They're all about the whiteness. And Donald Trump is their leader. Donald Trump gives the shy racist a voice. He says you don't have to speak in code anymore. You can just say you don't like Mexicans and Muslims, and that's okay. You can assault black women in the rallies, and that's okay. You can assault black people, and that's okay. He encourages violence toward people of color. Openly, not covertly, not politically correct. And white people love it because we've had a black president and white people just freak the fuck out. And no, I'm not saying all white people, obviously. For all the fragile white apologists that are so concerned about white stereotypes, but don't give a fuck about black or brown stereotypes or racial injustice or white supremacy. But oh my God, they're so concerned about white stereotypes. Hypocrites. But anyhow, he's their leader for the shy racist. It's what he does, and he's doing it well. I guess it's good that we know who racists are, you know, but he's encouraging racism by being one. So this is not good. This could really, really hurt a lot of people. This could get a lot of people killed, including white people. There's a cost to white supremacy, white America. Karma. It always comes back. Dirty deeds, and eventually comes back to you. And that's the problem with white America. The bully's always scared of their victims. We've been scared since we robbed and raped and murdered the first indigenous people. We've been scared since we enslaved people of color. We live in Jim Crow 2.0. That's what we live in. Mass incarceration, racial disparities off the charts institutionally in every single American institution. Nothing has changed since 2016. There's racial disparities in education. Our revisionist education teaches you. If you graduate from high school, you're white and you're not racist, you must have got an F in social studies. Jane Elliott, she said that. And it's true. If you watch TV and you're not a racist, you're doing something wrong. This is the way our society's brought up. We're indoctrinated from day one. From birth, from day one, we are taught the lies and the myths of white supremacy. And Donald Trump is their new voice and their new hero. So all the frustrated white apologists, all the white folks that's been saying, oh, let's not talk about racism. It's too divisive. Oh, the real racist today is black people. They're the real threat. They're the real racists, not white people. These are the same people that Donald Trump rallies yelling the N-word. Or ignoring the other people that are saying the N-word because they don't give a fuck. The truth is coming out. You're a racist. That's why you're there. You don't need to be coded about it. You're a racist. Just say I'm a racist. I hate people of color. I support white people. I support whiteness. I support white nationalism. I support white supremacy. I support racial injustice. I support the lynching that the police are doing to people of color. This is what Donald Trump is all about. And white people love it. I'm not shocked. It's always been there. It's just having a black president brought it out. And then having the population turning brown and blacker every single year, white people's freaking out. They're losing their privileges. They're scared of losing their privileges. And they're greedy. They've always been greedy. White people always wanted to be on top. We know, as white people, this country was made for us. We don't want to lose that. We want to hang on to it. So it's a sad state of affairs. But it's also very revealing of just to the extent that our white supremacist culture, how deep it runs. It's a sad, sad state of affairs. And I'm fearful what's going to happen. White people think that it's not going to affect them. No, it does affect you. There will be a cost to this. You can't oppress people for 400 years and expect for it not to blow up in your fucking face. There comes a time when you have to speak the truth, acknowledge the truth, address it, and pass it on. And do what's morally right. White supremacy is the most openly neglected evil of our time. And we're not doing a goddamn fucking thing about it. And we never have. So stop the tradition. Stop the legacy of white supremacy. I'm asking, I'm begging white America. Take some fucking racial responsibility and do something about it. That's all for now. Everybody, I'm back. I appreciate y'all, I really do. And it's been a lot of damn videos coming out there on the Dixon challenge and what I call the video racial healing challenge. We're trying to get some racial healing going on in our nation. We're trying to deal with the realities of white supremacy systemically and culturally in our country, and how that operates as a power structure, and how it affects us as individuals and as a group. You know, the white community and the black community and the Native American community and the Asian community and all people of color, and versus the white privilege and the benefits of white supremacy and how it affects all of us. So just ask everybody to step up, take some white racial responsibility, get the conversation going, and post your video, y'all. The videos have been coming in are heartbreaking. They're powerful. They're inspiring. They're courageous. And I tell you, some of the most moving things I've ever seen has come from young people and old people and all walks of life have been posting these videos, and they're really powerful. But anyhow, I just want to tell you, keep them coming. I'm proud of y'all, and let's get the conversation going, y'all. Let's do some healing. Let's have a national group therapy session, because the issue of white supremacy has never really been dealt with in the white community. The white community, have we really talked about it? Have we really dealt with it? No, we have swept it under the carpet. And I've had people been interviewing me, you know, Thought Catalog, The Root, the Huffington Post, and different articles written, and Boston Globe, and I've been privileged because of that, and honored, but one thing I've been saying to all of them is, you know, we have to treat racism as a disease, y'all. It's a cancer, and when you have a cancer, you fight it. You come up with an action plan to destroy it. And so it's the same thing with racism. We have to come up with an action plan to destroy it. We have to confront it head on, full brute force. We have to take this thing on, y'all. So let's get the conversation going. Let's raise awareness. And if you know of something that's an injustice socially, racially happening in your community, I encourage you to go out and confront it, march, protest, whatever you have to do. Let's be active. But right now, let's get videos coming. But the reason I was coming on here today, I just wanted to ask y'all a question about something, and something I've been thinking about for a while now. But what do you think would happen if we told the truth in our educational system? What if all these little children out there that's been indoctrinated and programmed by our culture and environment of white supremacy that we live in, and it affects everybody, y'all. Let's be honest. This cultural white supremacist programming that we have, it affects pretty much every American in some way, shape, or form. And it gets in your head, it gets in your heart, and it's ugly, and it's nasty, and it's an evil, and it's a disease. But imagine what if a little kid is in school and they spoke the truth about white supremacy. They said that white supremacy was a lie, and it was designed out of the love of money. It was designed out of greed for Europeans to make more money. And you know, look at most things in life that's evil. It usually circles around greed and money and economics. And it's the same thing with slavery, y'all. It was all about economics and greed and money. And there's still a lot of greedy Americans today. They want to hold on to their positions, you know. And there is some white nationalism out there, and they want to, and they're there because they simply, well, they're scared, number one, and number two, they just, well, hell, they want to hold on to their privileged positions, you know. They like their entitlement, they like their privilege, and they like their money, and they'll do anything to keep it when it comes down to money, y'all. And that's what this whole thing started with, and that's what's maintaining it today, in my opinion, is that fear and greed. But fear of black retribution, which is unfounded. If black people were going to do anything to white America, they would have already done it. But anyhow, I'm coming on y'all today to ask you a question. What if a little kid in school was asked the question, or told the reality about white supremacy, that black people and indigenous people and Asians and all the people of color in America have been marginalized, they have been villainized, and they have been dehumanized by our culture of white supremacy? What if this reality was taught in school, and taught about the injustice, and taught about the inequality, and taught about how the system of white supremacy works in every American institution? What if they were taught this? What if they were taught anti-racism? What if this was a class requirement? What if this was a school requirement for every kid, public and private? Imagine what we could do to reverse that indoctrination. Imagine what we could do to address this programming, this white supremacist programming that we have here in America and most parts of the world. But if we were to start with our school system, start with our children, I believe we would be on our way to get out of this culture and this nasty, ugly disease called white supremacy, and come into a place of true equality, true justice, and love for our fellow man and evolve as a species. You know, as a species, to be honest, if you look at our species historically, it's not too impressive. The things that are happening right now in South Africa is incredible. And I'm very disappointed with the xenophobia in South Africa, but that's another subject. I've just been reading articles about it today, and come on, South Africa, come on. It's terrible. But anyhow, we can all do better as a species, y'all. So post your videos. Let's have a conversation about our National Institution of Education, and educators and anybody out there that knows a way we could get legislation passed to develop an anti-racist educational school system to confront the environmental programming from our white supremacist nation and cultural effects of that. We need healing. We need to educate our children on the realities of white supremacy. So that's all I'm saying today, y'all. I want to tell you I love you and thank you, and keep the videos coming. I'm so proud of everybody with the videos. And Dixon Challenger calling. There's a website up that a lady, and I don't know how to say her name, so I don't want to say it, but she did a website called the DixonChallenge.org, and it is an amazing website, and it has many videos up that people have already posted. You can go through there and watch them all if you want to. And DixonChallenge.org, post your videos there, post them on my fan page, whatever you want to do, but post them. Let's get the conversation going. Let's do some healing, y'all. Come on. Thank you. Bye-bye.